All right, we're gonna talk about using fetch, play as a motivation for obedience. So we can use all the different types of obedience behaviors: sit, down, kennel, heel, here. We can use all of those and then reward it with playing fetch. Typically we're using food or treats. We're just replacing those rewards for the ball, and we're playing fetch. Fiona, sit. Good. Obviously, they're doing pretty well, so you can hold them to a little bit higher standard of being able to be on the boxes and being able to stay there in sit position. There are so many variables with this activity that you can change to make this more intense or less intense for the dog. Intense meaning more complicated or harder to achieve. So them being closer to each other on the boxes is more intense than me separating them. If I separate them a lot farther, that might become more intense. So if I throw the ball right here in front of them, that might be more intense because it's like the ball's right there than 10 feet out. Or if I throw the ball like 50 feet out, that might become more intense. So be thinking about every little variable. How can I adjust these things? Do I need the dog to be in a sit before I throw the ball? Do I want them close to each other? All of those things. When you're first starting out, you want to reward the dog right away. So if I have Fiona hop off of here and then have her hop back on, the second she gets back on, I'm going to say yes, and then throw the ball and release her. Fiona, kennel. Yes! Just like that. Good girl. Here. Atta girl. Good. Good. Kennel. Good girl. Sit. Thank you. Good. If I want to start making this a remote retrieve, meaning they are remote from me, farther away, I'm going to back up. And we're going to first do what's called a denial, where I'm going to get their attention. Hop, up, up, up. Focus. Good. Mark. Right? I'm just saying some words to try to get their attention. I'll throw the ball, and then I'll pick it back up. I always want to make sure I'm throwing the ball to where I could get it off the ground, and it's before they would get it if they broke. The ball is the reward. So if I throw this and they break and grab it, now they just got rewarded for not staying, right? They broke the rules of the game, so I don't want them to get rewarded. So I'm gonna make sure I throw the ball close enough to me that I can grab it. I can throw it farther away from me, but in order for me to still get it before them, I'm gonna have to get farther away from them. Good. And if they're both staying really well, then on one of these times when I throw it, Fiona. Good. Kennel. I'm gonna release them if they're doing well. So Finn, kennel. Fiona, kennel. Sit. No. Thank you. So Finn, I didn't release him and he jumped off, so I was making sure that Fiona got the ball and Finn didn't. With two dogs, it's always going to be more complicated than one dog. Typically, I would do this with one dog at a time, and I get them both really good at it, and then I bring two dogs together, because Finn sitting here and Fiona taking off right next to him, he's going to want to go. So you can always do one at a time for a bit and then add them together. The other option is to put the long line on, and if we do that, now I don't have to physically beat her to the ball. I don't have to run and go get the ball before her. I can just stop her with the long line. So I can sit here next to them. Finn, sit. Good. Sit. Sit. Good. Finn. Find it. So as he's finding that, you can see that I used the long line to stop Fiona from going. I could have let her jump all the way off and then stopped her and guided her back, but it's better if I actually stop her before she jumps off so that she gets used to staying on there. If she starts to drop her head, then she's thinking about jumping off. Good, Fiona. Sit. Sit. Finn. Right. Attaboy. Good, Finn, here. Good, Finn. Fiona. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Thank you. Good. Finn, sit. So this is something to try out. Ask me if you have more questions and I can clarify. This should be really fun for both the dogs and for you. And if it's getting frustrating, then just simplify it. Do one dog at a time. Shorten your distance. Put the long line on. Finn, here. Kennel. And then just always hold them accountable, making sure that they're following through with what you ask them to do. Neither of them have the e-collars on right now. I'm just working through the engagement. But if they start to get distracted and bored with the ball, then this exercise doesn't work. So this has to be like a high motivation for them to really want to work and get rewarded for doing the right thing. The dog's not interested. Finn's not as driven as Fiona is. So if Finn starts to get bored, then I'm not gonna try to force him to do this, if that makes sense. So this has to be just a fun, engaging motivation. All right, sounds good.